automation of accounts. We didn't quite get as far as we wanted to, but we understand accounts better. Specifically, we figured out you have your account that's your wallet with your soul in it, and then you have another account that is data accounts that you actually save data to whenever you write a program. You do have to associate your program with those accounts. So we try to do that, and in the process of doing that, we figured out that that's not as simple as it seems. And so we moved on from there, and we're trying to figure out how to create data accounts that you can associate with your programs. And that's kind of where we all kind of fell apart at the end, and it's like, all right, okay, so let's jump back into that. I kind of got to refresh a little bit, so let's just see, and we're going to continue down the path of automating setup. So yeah, let's go. All right, jumping back into desktop here. So where we left off, let's look at some code here. That's not what I wanted. There. Second. All right. So I think it was setup. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. Sorry. Handle a couple things here. All right. So down here we have our command. Basically, first we want to create the project, and that's going to create a project folder based on our name. And once we have that figured out, we want to update that project to create the subsequent accounts. Part of what we're going to add in there is we're going to do the project name, so we can pull the number of accounts we want to create, the space we want those accounts to have, and the program ID that we want to go into and do. The command that we wanted to run that we were told would work would be this Solana system account passing in, I think, the project account. Yeah, that would actually be associated with it, because we had to create keys first. The program we want to associate with it, the amount for rent so that we don't lose the account, the amount of space, and then who's going to pay for it. That's kind of what we need to do. The biggest issue is just not working right. So if we do Solana create account, create a boat account, so Sol account. Withdraw from boat account, nonce account, authorize withdrawer. Create a nonce account, create a stake account, create a boat account. Nothing about this. Let's go to Solana account. Yeah, so in order to do anything with the account, we need to give the account address. So again, not very helpful for what we're trying to do. It'd be great if we could do subcommands on this. But that's not where we are. So coming back over to ChatGPT, let's kind of start fresh. So we need to create an account that is associated with a program ID, and we can use to store data. I hit enter and did not mean to do that. So let's see what it says. Sometimes I like to read, like when I goof, like what does it say? Yes, you are correct. Store data on Solana. You need to create an account that is associated with your program ID and has necessary space allocated for your data. This account will be owned by your program, meaning that only your program can modify this data. Here's a breakdown of the steps involved to create an account. Key steps: generate. Yeah. So I generate a key pair for our account. we want to calculate the rent. So, create account, calculate rent, create the account using, yeah. So we've got to do this manually. You'll need to invoke the system instruction, create account instruction. So in reality, we might need to create our own little utility. So let's do that. That's a great idea. All right, let's do q cd.ls cd write to chain. No, actually, I want to do make dir no cargo new create data account. Do, do, do. So then client cargo.toml. Yeah, we probably want these. Actually, let's do cargo install Solana case. I think those were the two, right? Cargo. Okay. Okay. So we have that. So here's an example how you create a data account for your program. So it's cool. So let's do vim source name. Function create data account. So let's think this through. So really, let's just copy this. Let's just be honest with ourselves. We're just going to spend our time trying to recreate that. You know what? Let's. Sorry, one second. Okay. Finally, my chat opened up for this. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm having to think for a second here. Let's go here to cargo rates rates.io. We want Solana client, Solana SDK, um, docs, docs. Okay, so what we want to do using this as our, oops, it's our base, man. Uh, pair, I don't, you know what? I don't want to screw like this. Just want it to work. Can you turn that Rust code into a command line application to just let it do its thing. Well, let's do it. I don't mind using something as long as it works. Okay. This might all blow up in my face. Let's see what happens. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Honestly, I feel like I'm watching a Node.js program go here. Like, look at all these dependencies. I mean, look at this. Tons of stuff. Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm afraid of that. Okay. Prompt engineering doesn't always work. All right. Okay. Let's be honest here. I need to step back. I'm trying to do this really, 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 really fast, and that's probably not the best approach. Usually, I find when I'm doing software or when I'm doing engineering, if I'm pushing really fast to do something and it's not working out right, then I'm doing something wrong. There's a smell there. Probably wasn't designed. Now, sometimes it doesn't matter. You just gotta push through and get it done. But usually something's wrong. We're approaching it wrong. And so I feel like I'm doing something wrong. So let's ask. 1 second. I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. Maybe. Seems like the creators no longer want us to create system accounts via command line. Is there a more proper way to create data accounts? Yeah, the creators of Solana have indeed moved towards a more programmatic approach, right? Program derived addresses. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So program derived address. Okay, and within the context of smart contracts on chain programs, the reason for this shift is to ensure that accounts and their usage are properly governed by the program. Makes total sense. Why the way security and control, creating a data account via on-chain programs ensures that account ownership and access again. Predictability and determinism. Program-derived addresses allow programs to create accounts deterministically, which means the accounts will look derived based on certain inputs. Yep. I mean, so you're always going to get the right account. Automating complex account structures. Yeah. So in reality, yes, we are doing it wrong. The way I'm trying to do. So what we need to do is we need to have our program create the proper accounts if they don't exist. So the question here, so does that mean that our on-chain program needs to check if the existing account, let's check if there is any accounts existing. I mean, it seems logical. Yeah. Okay. So lesson in that, when you meet a lot of resistance, you're probably doing it wrong. Which I probably was. So let's step back in what we were doing. Let's first talk about our thing here. So, well, in the case of the list of accounts references passed to the program, check ownership. Pair data account dot key rent space program ID invoke create account instruction. Right. The pair data account and the program. The account paying for the new account will be stored. So do we have to have the account keys created first? Pass those in? Solana units don't necessarily need to pre-generate the account keys and pass them manually. Program derived address, the client, and then pass. Okay, program derived addresses. This program generates accounts on the fly in a deterministic manner based on C. without requiring a pre-generated key pair. Right. So yeah, that's where you're passing it in. Pay is account. The system program is account. And we're passing in a seed. Okay. That's different. So the example that I tried to give us before did not have a seed in it. It was expecting the account info of the pre-generated key. Use this approach if you need complete flexibility, such as when you want users to manage their own accounts or when accounts need to be created externally and passed in. Makes total sense. Use this approach when you want your program to have full control over the account and don't want the client to manage the key pairs. PDAs are typically more secure and efficient because they avoid the complexity of key management. Right. So really, we want to do the PDA method. Right, okay. So if we go the PDA method, I have so if I go, let's see, PDA method, pass in a seed, that is going to generate an account. First thing we have to do is probably for every contract function, we're probably going to need to pass in the seed for the account and a space requirement. That seems troublesome. So logic it through. If we probably need an init for the program that we call first that will double check accounts exist. Then we call other functions that just take the seed to know the account is there. Yeah. That makes sense. So for our automation, we just need a project account or project level master account that has Sol in it. In it, we need a program with program ID, and that's really it because the program takes care of the other automation that we need. I think we got it. I think we're getting there. So if we go to which one? All right. So really, let's go work on the contract. Source lib. Okay. So account info comes from the Solana program account info. What's the Solana program? Okay. Okay. I gotcha. I gotcha. Okay. So really we need a public function init program. Let's just call it that for now. Then we need another pub. The other pub function. We're just going to do save data. Then we do pub function get data. There we go. All right. For the init, we okay. Doesn't need to be public, does it? Create function create data account. Let's do this actually. Paste all that in there. Good for the moment. All right. That was a bad idea. That's fine. We're back to it. Pair PDA is public key find program address. Find a valid program derived address and its corresponding bump seed. Program derived address are accounts that only the program has the authority to sign. The address is of the same form as a Solana pub key, except they are ensured to not be on the block curve and thus have no associated private key. When performing cross-program invocations, the program can sign for the key by calling it signed. Along with a calculated bump seed, which this function returns. That's the second. Okay. So we can get the. So I'm assuming that. Okay. signed. Okay. So that is Solana program. Rent here. Rent. Calculate for minimum balance. Rent to free. Minimum balance. Okay, minimum balance. Data length. Save fields. Okay, so step back for a second. This is one of those situations where the whole point of this channel is for me to learn Rust. I have now hit a moment where I'm missing a Rust piece of knowledge. And so what I'm trying to figure out is what do I need to do to make this work? So it looks like I need an instance of a rent object for this. And then I call it. I didn't know what get did, so I just kind of ignored it because I don't know. Or the sysvar directly from there. I have no idea. What? I don't even know why you would do that. So what if I did instead default and did minimum? Yep, no. Load the sysvar directly from. I don't know what that means. Load the sysvar. Okay, let's see. Read more. Load the sysvar directly from the. This is the preferred way to load a sysvar. Following this method does not incur deserialization overhead. It does not require the sysvar. I do not know what that means. Okay. For rent, when you do rent get, docs say it does that. What does that mean? What is the sysvar? sometimes, I'm gonna be honest. All right. So as far as our system defined account, okay, that makes sense. The store essential data needed by on-chain. Okay. Program these accounts are automatically maintained by the Solana runtime, and they provide various types of system level information. Okay. I will give you that. That is an important thing to do because we're going to be running the application on chain. In this case, it's localhost. But we need to understand what the rent would be for the system level things. It's a function retrieves the rent sysvar account from Solana runtime. The sysvar contains the current rent parameters for the network. Let's. Okay. Okay. So if in that case, so it's going to return us. So yeah, the problem is it's not seeing get. That's what I don't get. Uh, so okay, another issue documentation wise where I get confused. I need to import rent. If I look at the breadcrumbs right here, then I would think Solana program rent, and then I import rent. And it shows right there. So my understanding is that I should get rent. Do I also need to? I mean, it's implementing sysvar, so I maybe need to, since it's a trait, import that as well. I mean, so I mean, it's not. All right, let's do that. I mean, it's still not showing up there, but then sometimes it lies. So let's. Okay, yeah. So I think my editor was just binding up. Okay, interesting. Let's test this theory. Let's come back up here. This could be an important Rust thing I'm learning. Yeah, there it is. No function or associated item named get. Okay. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it logically. It's one of those things like, it's easy once you know how it works. So now I know for future thing, and then something's wrong in the editor. In Vim, like the trying to like recollect it. That once you know how it works, it makes sense. But when you don't know how it works, that doesn't make sense. So in this case, we did get sysvar. Awesome. Because we imported rent, we imported sysvar. Now it knows how to use the trait on that. I need to dig into that a little more in Rust overall. But now we have that. Let's look at the return type of rent. No, get down here. It's a result. Okay. So we are going to have to do an unwrap, which we got from that. Then we should have the rent object. So now we should be able to do minimum balance. And then we want to do space. What? Oh, wait, no, let's do this. Let's come back in here. Yeah, I don't understand. No item named get for struct rent. I don't under. If you're trying to build a new rent, consider using one of the following associated free lists. Items or traits can only be used if the trait is in scope. Trait sysfar, which provides get, is implemented but not in scope. Perhaps you want to import it? Okay, I don't. I really feel like I'm getting closer. So maybe we imported the module but not sysfar itself. So let's do that. There we go. There we go. All right, we learned something. Let's recap that so I can keep it in my brain. So we wanted to import rent. We did that. Then we wanted to do get, so it creates an instantiation of it so that it gets all the system information from chain, whatever that chain is that you're running the program on. It implements the sysfar trait. And we need to import sysfar. I mistakenly imported this part and did not import this trait itself. So that's where in the import I should have done : sysfar. Okay, that makes a lot more sense on how to do imports of traits based on programming. That's a knowledge thing. It's funny, I saw a couple people dropping this. I don't know if it's because me running through something basic Rust, but this is me learning. Cool. Cool. All right. Okay. So now we got the rent. The rent is going to go there. Payer. Let's see. Lifetime. Okay. Consider introducing and name the lifetime parameter. Oh my gosh, lifetime. Scare the tar out of me. Uh, okay, let's ignore that for a moment. So invoke sign. It's going to take an instruction, which we're getting here. It's a system instruction. It's going to return back an instruction, right? And we're going to reference that. We also need account infos, which is going to be payer. If I do this, I can do this just for giggles. Yeah. So this is where references and type like this is where Python has hurt doing Python Ruby development for over a decade now. I just never truly learned some of this referencing stuff. So this is so I'm trying to catch up. Okay. Going back to the functionality here. We are passing in a UA, so just binary data basically. And then we're going to get the thing. I want to make sure I understand what's going on. So I'm going to repeat back what I've read to try to better understand. So we're in an account. So even down here, when we're going to do our save data and our get data, we're going to have to pass in a seed. We're going to then have to find the program address of that. I am not seeing in here, let's see, find a valid and its corresponding bump seed. The seeds are application specific and must be carefully selected to uniquely derive accounts per application requirements. It is common to use static strings and other pub keys. Okay, good idea. Okay. The bump seed must be passed as an additional seed when calling invoke signed. So yeah. I don't see a check in here. We can deal with that later. But I feel like the invoke sign. Let's read that. Invoke sign, invoke a cross program instruction with your program signatures. This function is like invoke with additional ability to virtually sign. Okay, yeah. So we have to sign stuff and send it in. The program needs to also be able to sign and send it, and it needs to be able to do that with PD. Okay, makes sense. There we go. There is no cryptographic signing involved. PDA signing is a runtime construct. Okay. A simple example. A simple example. Next account. So this is where we're getting all of our thing. Vault PDA. Okay. Create program address. Vault seeds. Vault pair key dot ref. Invoke signed. Create account. What? Okay. Can I want to look at this in here. Solana program invoke signed. Example. Okay, process instruction. Going to take the pub key for the program ID. Account info, I'm assuming in this case. So here we're going to get the account header, we're getting the payer, the person that's paying, the vault PDA. I guess this is where I need to double check what account info is. It's key. It's right. That's not what I expected. System program. Payer is writable, is center, is okay. Certain not is writable. Certain owner, same as the ID. We'll just check ID. Check ID. What? System program? Okay, I don't. Just look at what turns true if given pub key is the program ID. Okay. I don't actually understand what this example is doing. I don't understand enough to understand it. Okay. But what I'm thinking, in order to do a system instruction, let's look at a system instruction. We have create account, transfer, create account with seed. What services? Okay, what does find program address do? The thing I'm trying to understand, create program, is to say helper, create a valid program derived address without searching for a bump seed. Because this function does not create a bump seed, it may unpredictably return an error for any given set of seeds and is not generally suitable for creating program derived addresses. However, it can be used to efficiently verify that a set of seeds plus bump seed derives a particular address is expected. That's over. That's not what I need. So let's see. Find program address. Okay. What I'm trying to understand is use find program address because in the case of the example here, all bump seed is using a create. It's doing a create account. Apply. Oh, okay. Here's a more full feature example. So try find a valid program address and its corresponding bump seed. The only difference between this and the find is that one returns none in the statistically improbable event that a bump seed cannot be found, or if any find program addresses preconditions are violated. I was hoping I would short circuit my doc reading here. Program, the seeds are application specific. Okay. As all account address accessed by on-chain Solana programs must be explicitly passed to the program, it is typical for the PDAs to be derived in off-chain client programs, avoiding the compute cost of generating the address on-chain. The address may or may not be verified by deriving it on-chain, depending on the requirements of the program. This verification may be performed without overhead or researching for bump keys by the create program address. Because of the way seeds are hashed, there's potential for program address collisions for the same program ID. Okay. Creating a vault account, which is derived from the payer account, but owned by an on-chain program. This program derived address is derived in an off-chain client program, which which invokes an on-chain Solana program that uses the address to create a new account owned by and controlled by the program. Okay. By convention, the on-chain program will be compiled for use in two different contexts, with on-chain to interpret a custom program instruction as on a transaction, and off-chain as a library so that clients can share the instruction data structure. Constructors and other common code. Okay. All right. I'm gonna call it tonight. My brain is not. Oh, somebody's. See, Starboy says hi from India. Hi. Glad you could join me. About to hop off. Thanks for joining in, everyone that watched. Let me do something. I think tonight was a semi-success in that we figured out we were doing it wrong. Always good to know you're doing things wrong. We were so I wanted to create some automation so we could create data accounts. Found out that I was doing it wrong, and the next step is in our application to create data accounts automatically using program-derived accounts. So I think this example that we just saw that I was about to go through is going to be the direction that we need to go. So next week, I want to read through this example and really try to grok it to try and create this. I think we're like that close. I think once we can figure out how to do these derived accounts, we'll be ready for the next step of actually creating our lottery application that I want to create. Oh, are you kidding? My voice is going bad? Crap, I thought I fixed that. Hold on. Oh. All right. Sorry. I'm going to catch y'all next week.